Hello there. 1st of July, and we're all thinking about going on holiday. Ian Cathcart, Flemington Hallside thought for the day, and as you may have guessed, I was actually thinking about continuing to go through Martin Luther because he's got some really good stuff on science and doctors and what you should do with medicine, and we'll get to it. It's just I saw this thing yesterday. This was in the Independent newspaper, and the article was making reference to a study, and they'd obviously thought the study was sufficiently important that they'd given one of the journalists a kind of opportunity to make a video. Here's the video.
I have no friends. It's a scary thing to admit that, especially here on LinkedIn, but it's true.
Nobody's like you. You are not normal at all. No.
I know a lot of people, but it's mostly through networking and work and everything to do with work. I'm really lucky because I've got some amazing work colleagues, and naturally we share our lives with each other, so we share what's going on. But I don't take them out for dinner, and I don't go on long country walks with them. I don't do stuff with them that friends do. It's not just me as well who's got no friends. There are a staggering number of people, and mostly men, across the UK who've got very few, if any, friends that they can actually talk about any sort of serious stuff with. And it's a tough one, isn't it? Because, you don't want to be the sad, lonely git that admits to having no friends, but I haven't. So charities are urging men to make more time for socialising and starting hobbies. So this is an article in the Times. All the lonely people are men. A fifth have no friends. Almost 1 in 5 men admits to having no close friends. So how do you make friends? So rather than just wallow in self-pity and just think that I'm a sad, lonely git, I joined a meetup group, and there's a new members meeting in that pub tonight at 7 o'clock, and I'm going.
I feel so much for you that I don't know what to do.
Right, time to go and get ready then.
'Cause someone was before you, and someone let me go. This time I must know for sure. 'Cause someone was before you, and someone let me go. But I just need to be sure.
Okay, I'm a bit nervous. I'm here. I don't know anybody coming to this thing tonight. I've switched over to the phone now because, I don't want to be woken up and being that weirdo that comes to these things with a whole camera kit. So I'm not going to film it tonight. Although I will try and capture a couple of things on the phone if I can. Well, that was really great. What a great evening, and what a brilliant bunch of people as well. I mean, you've got the quiet ones, you've got the confident ones, but really, really good fun. I'm so glad I got off my backside and got a bit of guts and went and did something like that. It was really, really good fun. And do you know what? I mean, I wouldn't call them necessarily friends yet, but I hope they will be in the future.
Nobody's like you.
So I don't know how you react to that particular video, but 1 in 8, that's 12.5% of the British population. I don't know what percentage of that particular group would be male, but it would certainly be, I would think, a sizable majority. Men are encased in a need to be men, it would appear, and part of that is not talking. I've made reference quite a few times to what I would refer to as one another verses. And I realise sometimes people can get annoyed, or not just like, again. If you consciously, deliberately, and consistently put yourself in other people's shoes, in other words, try and look at the world from a non-Christian perspective, or at the very least, just how most folks look at the world. What would that look like, specifically if you're male? not everyone is able to deal with things in a way where they can articulate everything that's going on in their head, and sometimes they need help simply by other people inviting them to things. So, yeah, is that fairly difficult at the moment, given the fact that lockdown is kind of on, well, mostly on, maybe not completely on. We're in that transition stage, but it's just, there's nowhere, at least not that I'm aware, of a Bible verse that says, be friends with one another. But there are verses that talk about, build up one another and accept one another and care for one another. There's a lot of the stuff that you would imagine that as a friend, the Bible describes the stuff that you would do. And it's more just, I think Christians forget what it's like not to be, even in a cursory way, the way some, people are involved in a church, but they're not really involved, but they come along. Even they have a whole lot more in terms of just pals, friends. I'm suggesting that if you're watching this video and you've been watching all the thoughts for the day, maybe you don't realize how blessed you are and how lonely some other people are. And maybe we just need to be more aware. 1 in 8 of all men have no friends. And I don't think that suddenly means we can fall on them like some avalanche and, drag them kicking and screaming to church. I think above all else, it just means invest time and be a pal. Doesn't sound like a grand strategy, does it? It's just, above all else, if Martin Luther keeps on going on about what it is to be a neighbour, you can't leave the weak ones behind. Monday, Tuesday. What does being a neighbour in this situation look like? Because we're not being asked to look after them because they've got the Black Death or just COVID-19. They're just not all that socially popular. Maybe not that adept at one-to-one conversations. Maybe people where we have to make more of the running to kind of keep the conversation going. I suppose it does matter. There is a difference, as is often pointed out, between being alone and being lonely. But I do think it's significant. If you have no friends, nobody that you would refer to as a best friend, nobody that you would look upon as just somebody who's a pal, I think that is an issue. And I think it might be an issue that Christians in Flemington Hallside can sometimes miss. Because, you have a family quiz. We was robbed, by the way. I'm just saying, anyway, let's not get into that right now. The fact is, it was good fun. It was a laugh. It's that sense of, do we recall and remind ourselves of what we have? Maybe it's when you have somebody pointed out to you who doesn't have it that you recognize, thank you. And just try and be there for somebody. And if it can't be just now, because lockdown's still a reality in your life, then fine. But just realize, not everybody's the same. Some people just need a friend. Go with God, because I know God goes with you.